I must say, all three of these teams have wonderful, wonderful students that have been nothing but kind and super, super supportive of each other. So well done, ladies and gentlemen. You're setting a fine example for all of us. You're competitive, but you're also kind, and I love that. All right, final match, exciting. Round one, competition round, 10 questions with a theme or recurring focus. 1 point for correct response, 1 point deleted for incorrect response. Let's start with a buzzer check. Brunswick? Good. Brunswick High School, would you introduce yourselves, please?
To my right is Mason Leffler. To my far left is Taylor Edwards. To my immediate left is Chase Rogowski. I'm Miles Holland, and we'd like to thank our awesome coaches, Senor and Mr. Kelly, for one last time this season.
Middletown.
I'm Dylan Dierman.
I'm William Bergenson.
I'm Rachel Washart.
And I'm Marilyn Fisher.
And we'd like to thank our principal, Miss Jeffrey.
Yay, Lee. And Walkersville.
To my far right is Ben Teakin. To my immediate right is Evan Pinetti. To my immediate left is Solomon Chen. I'm Ryan Pudimena, and we'd like to thank our three coaches, Mr. Van Bloom, Mr. Drum, and Mr. Stillman.
All right, round one, competition round. This one is words that start with R-E. R-E. I will give you one or two definitions and then a fill-in-the-blank example if you need it. You will then give me the word that begins with the letters R-E. Example. Don't ring on this one. He is the moderator of the 2019 FCPS Academic Tournament. Example. That Mr. Blank sure likes Watership Down, Twin Peaks, in Michigan. You would ring in and say, Reichel, of course. So that's not going to be on here. So we get it?
Yes.
Okay. Question one. To officially order someone to return to a place or to bring a fact.
Retreat.
No, I'm sorry. Or to bring a fact back into one's mind. Example, the president had to blank the ambassador after his embarrassing remarks. Recall. Question two. The action of inflicting hurt or harm on someone for an injury or wrong.
Brunswick.
Revenge.
Exactly. Question three. To give new strength or energy or to reinvigorate.
Brunswick.
Rejuvenate.
No, I'm sorry, it's incorrect. Example, you must blank the web page to get the latest scores, refresh. That's why the examples are helpful here. Question four. To express sharp disapproval or criticism.
Walkersville.
Reprimand.
No, I'm sorry, it's incorrect. Because of their behavior actions. Example, the teacher had to blank the student because he had to set fire to the paper mache sculpture. Rebuke. You would rebuke that student. No setting fires. Question five. A person who rises in opposition or armed resistance.
Brunswick.
Rebel.
Han Solo was my example there. Question six. To go or move back or further away.
Brunswick.
Retreat.
No, I'm sorry, it's incorrect. From a previous position. Example, the floodwaters begin to blank as the sun came out and the wind picked up to recede. Question seven. A cause, explanation, or justification for an action or event, or the power of the mind.
Brunswick.
Reason.
Reason, correct. Question eight. A set of instructions for preparing a particular dish.
Brunswick.
Recipe.
Yes. Question nine. Having happened, begun, or been done not long ago or not long before.
Brunswick.
Recent.
Correct. Question 10. To understand completely. Example, I did not blank the risk I was taking.
Walkersville.
Realize.
Yes, when you get to the examples, we get them, right? That completes round one. Round two, individual school round, 6 questions from a variety of topics, 1 point for correct response, no points deducted if you have an incorrect response. Brunswick High School, would you introduce any new players, please?
To my far left is Morgan Willems. To my immediate right is Isabel Stepler. I am Ian Bird. We'd like to thank Ms. Miser, Mr. Diaz, and you, Mr. Reichel.
Thank you very kindly. Middletown High.
I'm Annabelle Tolley.
I'm John Routson.
And we'd like to thank everyone that's still out here that is just here to support the academic team.
Here, here. Big crowd. Walkersville High.
To my right is Jacob Cadella. To my immediate left is Milan Patel. To my far left is Brendan Lawler. I'm Shayna Mailson. We would like to thank the scorers table.
Wellsboro High. Walkersville, would you please pick A, B, or X for Brunswick?
X.
X it is. These questions for Brunswick High. Question 1. Published in 1906, White Fang was a novel about a wolf dog written by this American author, who also created one of the great dogs in literature, Buck. Name this author.
London.
Jack London is correct. Question 2. Give me the last name of the sisters Serena and Venus, who faced each other in the finals of the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open in 2002. They are still playing professional tennis today.
Williams.
That is correct. Question 3. What country has more bears than the United States, Canada, and Europe combined? It is the largest country by area in the world.
Russia.
Correct. Question 4. What is the name for meteoroids who survive entry through the atmosphere and reach Earth's surface?
Meteorites.
Correct. Question 5. Hey, boo-boo, let's get us a picnic basket is a famous line often said by which cartoon bear who shares his first name with a famous New York Yankee catcher?
Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear. Question 6. This state, nicknamed the Land of 10,000 Lakes, is where the first Better Business Bureau was founded in 1912.
Minnesota.
That is correct. That completes the round for Brunswick. Brunswick, A or B for Middletown?
A.
These questions are for Middletown High. Question 1. This U.S. state includes Lake Winnebago, the towns of Oshkosh and Madison, and the Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee. Name this Midwest state.
Wisconsin.
Correct. Question 2. She has won more Emmy Awards and more Screen Actors Guild Awards than any other performer. Name the star of The New Adventures of Old Christine and Veep.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Correct. Question 3. Ice hockey and lacrosse are the official winter and summer sports of which country, with famous sports stars Wayne Gretzky and Steve Nash?
Canada.
That is correct. Question 4. In the film, Dorothy's slippers are ruby red, but in the novel by L. Frank Baum, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, what color are Dorothy's slippers? The same color as the chemical element with the symbol Ag.
Silver.
That is correct. Question 5. Christopher Jones was the captain of this ship when it took the Pilgrims to New England in 1620.
Mayflower.
That is correct. And question 6. Sidney Carton is the central character who is willing to sacrifice his life in order to help a young woman he loves in which novel?
Tale of Two Cities.
That's correct, by Charles Dickens, and that completes the round for Middletown. And that leaves packet B for Walkersville. B for Walkersville. Question 1. What city served as the capital of the United States from 1785 until 1790? 843-acre Central Park is in the heart of this city.
New York City.
That's correct. Question 2. The Hound of the Baskervilles is a crime novel featuring which fictional detective who was also in A Study in Scarlet and The Sign of the Four?
Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Van Bloom would have been very upset if you didn't get that one right. Question 3. On what red planet did a robot named Spirit remain operational over 2,000 sols past its planned 90-sol mission?
Mars.
That's correct. Question 4. What television quiz show host quipped at his 1990 wedding? The answer is yes.
Jeopardy.
I'm sorry, what quiz show host?
Oh.
Alex Trebek is the answer to that. Question 5. What king of golf lent his name to a mixture of iced tea and lemonade? His army of fans changed golf forever in the 1950s and 1960s.
Palmer.
Correct. And question 6. In what state is the highest average rainfall on Mount Waialehe?
Hawaii.
That is correct. That completes the round for Walkersville. Round 2. Round 3, competition round with a buzzer system for team recognition. 10 questions with the 5 math questions, of course. You have 30 seconds to respond to the math questions. Once the scores table recognizes you, you must have the math question answered immediately. Wait for the scores table, of course. 1 point up or down. Brunswick, any new players?
To my right is Tyler Hempy, and we'd like to thank Frederick High School for hosting this season.
Yes, we very much appreciate it. And we'll be back next year in Frederick High School, right, Mr. Diaz? Yay, thank you. Middletown, any new players?
I'm James Bongard.
I'm Lewis Hu.
And we'd like to thank Mr. Diaz for coming up with some awesome math questions.
Excellent, and Walkersville.
To my left is Wilson Kong. I'm Michael Flagel, and we like to shout out all the seniors here in the building tonight for all their contributions to the academic team for the past 4 years.
Excellent, yes, it's a little melancholy for the seniors. This is their last time. All right, round 3. All set? Everybody's calculator is working, we're ready to go. Okay, question 1, math. If 3 aces are drawn without replacement from a standard deck of 52 cards, what is the probability, expressed as a common fraction, that the next card drawn is also an ace?
Brunswick. 1 out of 49.
That is correct. Question 2. This is the United States name for the world's most popular sport.
Brunswick.
Soccer.
Yes, most countries refer to it as football, but we do not. Question 3, math. The sides of a triangle are 24, 70, and 74 centimeters. How many square centimeters are in its area?
Brunswick.
420.
I'm sorry, it's incorrect, 840. So it sounds like you just need times 2 once more. Question 4. This famous Russian novelist famously said,
Middletown.
Well, it can either Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, but I would say Tolstoy.
Tolstoy?
well, you had a 50-50 chance, right, but that wasn't the one I was looking for. He said, what is hell? I maintain that it is the suffering of being unable to love. He wrote The Idiot, Crime and Punishment, and The Brothers Karamazov.
It's okay.
That, of
It
course,
was-
is
it was- yeah.
Fyodor Dostoevsky. Fabulous. Question 5, math. What is the sum of the exterior angles of a regular hexagon?
Walkersville.
360.
That's correct, 360 degrees. Question 6. On April 14th and into the 15th of 1912, there was a tragic 2.5.
Walkersville.
Sinking of Titanic.
That's correct, a 2.5-hour period where's the rest of that? About 375 miles south of Newfoundland, over 1,500 people were killed in this disaster. Question 7, math. Of the following 3 numbers, which is greater? Log base 6 of 46,656, the arithmetic mean of 4, 6, 9, 1, 8, and 7, or 1, 1, 1, base 2.
Brunswick. Log 111, base 2.
Yep, the third one, or 7. Question 8. The border between Mexico and the United States has been in the news a great deal. How many U.S. states are on this border?
Walkersville.
4.
That's correct. Question 9, math. A set of test scores is normally distributed. If 95% of students scored between 38% and 82% on a test, what percent did a student have to score on the test to be in the bottom 0.15% of the class?
Brunswick. 16%.
No, I'm sorry, 27% was the correct one for that. Question 10. We know J.K. Rowling's debut novel as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. But when it was first published in 1997 in Great Britain,
Brunswick.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
all you need is philosophers. That is correct. That completes round 3.
I knew the first
After 3 rounds, Brunswick with 11, Middletown with 5, Walkersville with 7. All right. Round 4, competition round with the buzzer system. Pre-announced category. Tonight's round is 1969. 1 point for correct response, 1 point to leave for an incorrect response. Brunswick High School, would you introduce any new players, please?
No new introductions, but we'd once again like to thank all the Brunswick teachers and alumni, especially my sister, McKenna Rogowski.
Oh, how nice. Middletown.
I'm Emma Sandler.
And we'd like to thank all those who make these events possible.
Here. Walkersville.
To my left is Connor Bosco, and we would like to thank all the parents.
All right, category tonight, 1969. Please tell me the answers to these questions that have something to do with that year. Question 1. On Monday, January 6th, in 1969, a section of the paper that had been called For and About Women was replaced by a new section called simply Style. Publisher Katharine Graham and editor Ben Bradley had discussed and argued about this switch, but it was proved to be a lasting switch as we continue to read the Style section today in what newspaper now owned
Middletown.
Washington Post.
by Amazon's Jeff Bezos? That is correct. Washington Post. Question 2. On June 28th in Greenwich Village, New York.
Brunswick.
Stonewall riots?
That's excellent. Right. That's a big deal. The homosexual rights movement begins on that date. Question 3. In what continues to be regarded as one of the greatest upsets in sports history,
Brunswick.
response please.
Jets beat the Colts in the Super Bowl?
All you need is the New York Jets. That's correct. This team beat the heavily favored Baltimore Colts after brash quarterback Joe Namath guaranteed a victory. Question 4. This question requires a 3-part answer. Got to have all 3. They started out on July 16th, orbited
Brunswick.
Collins, Aldrin, and Armstrong?
That's correct. Excellent. I think they've been studying 1969.
I know.
Question 5. Director Dennis Hopper made a film.
Brunswick.
Easy Rider?
That's correct. There's a lot more to that one. Question 6. Everything was beautiful and nothing hurt. Here we are, Mr. Pilgrim, trapped in the amber of the moment.
Brunswick.
Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse-Five?
Yes, one of my favorite authors of all time. Slaughterhouse-Five was what I was looking for there. Question 7, a very personal question here. I was 8 in 1969, so I was too old for one of these, but it was my younger brother's prized possession. It was bright yellow, red, and blue.
Walkersville.
Hot Wheels?
No, I'm sorry, I had plenty of those too, but made mostly of plastic and allowed the rider to stay low to the ground. Named this alternative to the traditional tricycle introduced by Lewis Marks and Company, the Big Wheel. Yes, remember those? I do. Still mad about that. Question 8. We heard earlier tonight about the start of Sesame Street during this year, during 1969. But that show and many others probably would never have happened had not...
Brunswick.
Mr. Rogers, PBS?
Yes, it's a beautiful story. If you haven't seen the special on Mr. Rogers, it's a wonderful, wonderful nonfiction work. Question 9. Levi Strauss Company began selling these kinds of...
Brunswick.
Gap?
No, I'm sorry. These kinds of jeans on March 11th, and they became a symbol of counterculture youth who preferred casual, inexpensive pants with a flared style, the bell-bottom jeans, of course. And question 10. This question requires a 2-part answer. At the Queen Elizabeth Hotel in Montreal, this recently married couple...
Brunswick.
John Lennon and Yoko Ono?
That is correct, and that completes round 4. Wow. After 4 rounds, Brunswick 17, Milltown 6, Walkersville 6. Everybody's comfortable and settled in? Round 5, competition round with the buzzer system, 20 questions on a variety of topics. Of course, 1 point up or down. Brunswick High School. One last time.
No new introductions, but I would like to thank all of the underclassmen who have helped make this season possible for us, and I wish them the best of luck in the years to come.
How gracious again. Middletown.
I'm Michal Magidson. And I'd like to thank all the seniors on this team, especially these 3 up here and everyone back there for being an awesome part of the team.
Awesome. And Walkersville.
No new introductions, but I would like to thank all of the team members who made it possible for us to practice and get better throughout the years. Thank you.
Wonderful. They're super smart and they're super nice, right? That's a hard combo to beat. Okay, round 5. All set? Here we go. Question 1. He was a dutiful son and an unfaithful husband and a caring, if misguided, father. He was also the mob boss in New Jersey after Jackie...
Walkersville.
Response, please.
Godfather.
No, after Jackie Aprile passed away and he dealt with the challenge from his uncle Junior, named this character played by James Gandolfini for 6 seasons on HBO, Tony Soprano. Question 2. If I was to throw a hyzer driver out about 250 feet, then throw a mid-range S-curve close to the basket, and then bang the putt into the chains with my AVR putter, what sport am I playing?
Brunswick.
Golf.
More specific, please.
Disc golf?
Disc golf, yes. Big difference. Yeah, here. Disc golf. I will be out there later. Question 3. Which Stephen King novel takes place mostly in the fictional Overlook Hotel in Colorado?
Brunswick.
The Shining?
That is correct. Question 4. According to the Frolic News Post this week, a new business will be opening next year.
Walkersville.
Gatsby?
Yes, I will be there. Up on the roof. Can't wait. It will be a restaurant with a 1920s theme, etc. Question 5. This man was born in Colonial Virginia and at age 17 launched a successful career as a land surveyor.
Brunswick.
Washington?
George Washington is correct. Question 6. He holds 72 NBA records, including averaging 23 rebounds.
Brunswick.
Chamberlain?
Yes, Wilt Chamberlain. Terrific answer. One of the most amazing physical specimens I've ever seen in my life. Truly astounding. Question 7. He started life attempting to be an artist but failed to support himself.
Middletown.
Adolf Hitler.
That is correct. Wow. There's a lot more to that one, but Maryland didn't need it. Question 8. Inheritance of acquired traits was one theory that this pre-Darwin...
Middletown.
Mendel?
No, I'm sorry, this pre-Darwin French biologist used to explain how giraffes evolved long necks. Who was this biologist? Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Question 9. This state's population is less than the 31 most populous U.S. cities.
Middletown.
Wyoming?
Yes, excellent. And again, we gave you some borders and stuff, you didn't need them. The equality state was the rest of that. Question 10. As the legend has it, she was an 11th century noblewoman who was troubled by taxes.
Brunswick.
Lady Godiva?
Excellent. These questions are really long, but they don't need it. Question 11. His first appearance was on October 4th of 1950. At times, he was a tennis pro, a vulture, Joe Cool, and a World War I.
Middletown.
Response, please. No response. And a World War I flying ace. Name this famous beagle, created by Charles Schultz. Snoopy, of course. Question 12. Set in southern England, this novel focuses on a band of adventurers who are driven from their home and must find a new place.
Brunswick.
Canterbury Tales?
No, I'm sorry. Must find a new place to live in a world filled with enemies who will kill them if they catch them. Name the novel by Richard Adams. It features Hazel, Fiver, Bigwig, and Woundwort. You knew it was coming. Watership Down. I warned you. Question 13. A coalition of how many states filed a federal lawsuit this week to block...
Brunswick.
11.
No, I'm sorry, 16. 16. Block the building of a border wall. Question 14. Please, please me and all my...
Brunswick.
Beatles.
That's the Beatles. That's the one, right? Those are the best songs from their first 2 albums, according to the Ultimate Classic Rock website. Question, so that was correct. Question 15. The following question requires a 2-part answer. Double replacement reactions between compounds of this type result in products that are a salt and water. What is the category?
Walkersville.
Acids and bases.
That's correct. Question 16. One of the family issues in A Raisin in the Sun is between the brother and sister. Walter believes that Benita's dream is too expensive and she should do woman's work. But she wanted to become this ever since she saw
Walkersville.
Doctor.
a doctor, correct. Ever she saw Rufus crash down some stairs. Question 17. This question also requires a two-part answer. What two U.S. capital cities have rhyming names?
Brunswick.
Annapolis and Indianapolis.
No, sorry, Austin and Boston. Question 18. I was going to give you the capitals of Texas and Massachusetts, but you jumped it. Question 18. The famous long, low silhouette, ever-alert expression, and bold, vivacious personality of this breed of dog have made him a favorite of the canine kingdom, according to the American Kennel Club. They were bred to be independent hunters of dangerous small prey.
Walkersville.
Labrador?
Say that again?
Labrador?
No, that's much smaller. They are a brave, fierce fighter. Named this dog bred to go down rabbit and badger holes. The Dachshund. Of course, my Dachshund's name is Sunshine. He's fierce. Question 19. Stephen King never cashed the $1,000 check he received for rights to this film. He got the check framed.
Walkersville.
No, I'm sorry, and got it framed and mailed it back to Frank Darabont with a note inscribed, in case you ever need bail money, love Steve. Named this film starring Tim Robbins and Andy Dufresne, The Shawshank Redemption, of course. Question 20. This poet, after reading about the summer palace of the Emperor of China,
Walkersville.
It's Coleridge.
Coleridge, that's correct, and that completes the match. Final score, Brunswick 20, Walkersville 7, Middletown 6. Congratulations, Brunswick, on a spectacular season. Well done.